Decoding is a foundational skill that students will use for the rest of their life. While the teaching of decoding starts in kindergarten, there are many monolingual and multilingual students who may need additional support in learning to decode words in their native and additional languages. In fact, students of all ages may come to your classroom in need of support to improve their decoding skills. So, in this video, we take notes on how kindergarten teachers support struggling readers and discuss the process of decoding texts along with some strategies that can help students improve this ability. Decoding a text is the ability to use and apply your knowledge of letter-sound correlations, as it requires both an understanding of letter-sound relationships and the capacity to use that understanding to identify written words and interpret their meaning correctly. Students who need more support in learning to decode can be helped by the following strategies: segmenting, blending, chunking and word parts, marking vowels and consonants, splitting syllables, covering parts of the word. The workshop model of teaching works well for educators endeavoring to tailor their instruction to student needs. While these strategies are geared toward young learners, they can be adapted to help older learners as well, working toward decoding more complex texts. You can use numerous assessments to identify students' specific areas of need and instructional reading levels. So, if you notice a K through 12 or perhaps an adult English learner is struggling with reading and/or decoding texts, you can differentiate your instruction by implementing these strategies, and in turn, bridge foundational gaps in knowledge while still teaching grade-level content. Number 1. Segmenting. Segmenting is basically one's capacity to break up spoken words into various sounds. For instance, we look at the word cat, and we divide it into 3 different sounds, or phonemes. In short, oral segmenting is a phonemic skill that is considered one of the most crucial and essential components of individual reading or writing. Tell your students to start reading from the left and read out loud each part of the word while moving to the right. Number 2, blending. Blending is another important skill, which is basically an ability of a person to join all the speech sounds together, making a word. This key phonemic skill allows the children to read unfamiliar words. Number 3, chunking and word parts. This is very important to students who have moved on to more complex words or multisyllabic words, as it helps them to properly identify their parts. What students can do is circle all the affixes and underline the roots, which will help them to look for spelling patterns that they know. Number 4, marking vowels and consonants. Spot and dot are one of the best techniques when it comes to decoding a certain text. The students are supposed to look at different words and draw a dot on all the vowels they see over there. Marking or putting a dot on the vowels tells them the number of syllables that are present in a word. However, students need to be familiar with 2 concepts, known as vowel teams and consonant digraphs, in order to segment the sounds in the word. Number 5, splitting syllables. Finding the vowel sounds and dividing up multisyllabic words needs syllable splitting. Students can see the patterns and divide syllables by drawing a line between the vowels and consonants after locating them. The vowels can either be classified as long or short, but the students need to know the 6-syllable types if they want this technique to come in handy. Number 6, covering parts of the words. Last but not least, we have another technique which is called covering the parts in a word. The student should be taught to decode a word by covering up parts of a word with their finger. At times, students get overwhelmed when they look at a new word, so if you tell them to decode sound by sound, or in parts with the help of their finger, it would help them a lot. When students break down the first sound, they then cover the remainder of the word, while they slide their finger to decipher the following sound. Decoding is basically quickly matching a group of letters to their sounds and identifying the patterns that form words. Blending, segmenting, chunking, marking vowels and consonants, splitting syllables, and covering parts of words are strategies that you can adapt at all levels of instruction. Students of all ages may struggle with decoding texts. For educators in higher grades unfamiliar with teaching literacy, using these strategies will help you to differentiate your instruction and meet your students where they are. That is a wrap on this video. We hope you liked it, and if you did, make sure to press the like button. Tell us, What strategies are you going to put in place to help your students with decoding? Plus, if you have any questions or comments regarding this topic, make sure to write them in the comments section below. Thank you for your service, educators. Until the next time, adios. Bye-bye.